Last year, I started tracking my expenses and what I realized shocked me. Kasi apparently, I was losing more money than I thought. Nung hindi pa kasi ako nagtatrack ng expenses ko, I really thought I was doing okay. Kasi nababayaran ko naman lahat ng bills, hindi naman ako kinakapos, at may natitira sa sahod ko. Pero at the end of the month, hindi ko ma-explain kung saan ko ginagastos yung pera at hindi ko rin alam kung bakit pakiramdam ko laging may nawawala dun sa pera na yun. That's when I realized na hindi talaga ako fully in control with my money kasi hindi ko nga ma-explain kung saan ko siya ginagastos. So today, I'll be sharing with you 10 ways I lost money without realizing it and how I started fixing them. Thanks to Wise for sponsoring this video. More about them in a bit. Number 1 is buying outfits for unimportant events. I used to be that person na bibili ng outfit for every little event. Lalo na nung balikbayan ako kasi syempre after years of working abroad, gusto mo naman i-present yung upgraded version mo. So every birthday, gathering with friends and family, or kahit simpleng catch-up lang, bibili ako ng outfit. At the time, it felt justified kasi minsan lang naman. But when I really thought about it, ang dami kong biniling damit para sa mga okasyon na halos hindi ko naman na maalala right now. And the worst part, hindi ko na ulit masuot yung mga damit na yon kasi instead of buying pieces that actually fit my style, I'd buy something just for one specific occasion. So after that day, nakatambak na lang sila sa cabinet, still new pero basically unused. That's also when I shifted to building a capsule wardrobe kasi everyday namumroblema ako kung anong isusuot ko pero ang dami kong damit sa cabinet. Kasi now, kapag bibili ako ng damit, I make sure na pwede ko siyang i-mix and match with what I already have. Mas intentional yung shopping ko now and honestly, it made getting dressed a lot easier. Wala na yung moments na ang tagal mong nakatingin sa cabinet thinking na wala kang maisuot kahit na in reality, punong-puno yung cabinet mo ng damit. So now, fewer decisions, less clutter, and less regret na rin after buying. Number 2 is auto-renewing subscriptions. This happened to me a lot, lalo na nung nagsisimula ako sa content creation. Kasi as someone na one-man team, ako lang naman lahat nag-figure out sa kung anong gagamitin ko na tools. So minsan kapag may gusto akong itry na bagong feature, bagong application, bagong software, nagsusubscribe ako sa mga free trial. Pero alam naman natin na may catch talaga yung mga free trial, di ba? Kasi dati, di ba, okay lang na mag-free trial kasi hindi mo naman kailangan i-input yung payment method. Ngayon kasi hindi na eh. Para ma-access mo yung free trial, kailangan ilagay mo yung payment method mo. That way, in case makalimutan mo na mag-cancel ng subscription, mag-auto-renew siya. So yun yung isa sa mistake na talagang nare-regret ko dati kasi nakakalimutan ko talaga siyang i-cancel. To the point na bigla ka na lang makaka-receive ng notification na this application deducted this amount of money from your bank account. Tapos manlulumo ka na lang kasi nakalimutan mong i-cancel. So right now, every time magsusubscribe ako sa isang bagong application or software, I make sure na meron akong reminder sa calendar ko to cancel in case hindi ko gusto yung feature. Minsan kasi ang dali natin mapalagpas yung mga ganitong gastos kasi iisipin natin 150 pesos lang naman per month, okay lang na mag-renew siya kahit hindi ko siya gamitin. Nakalimutan na eh, hayaan na natin. Pero kapag paulit-ulit mo siyang ginawa kasi, 150 pesos times 12, that's 1,800 pesos kagad na deducted sa bank account mo. If you think about it, malaking bagay na yung 1,800 pesos and madami ka nang pwedeng paggamitin sa kanya. Lagi kong iniisip na ano ba yung pwede kong gamitin dun sa pera na yun instead of giving it to a company na hindi ko naman ginamit yung service nila. Number 3 is sending money the wrong way. I used to send money to my local account here in the Philippines through traditional banks, thinking it was the easiest way. Pero over time, na-realize ko na parang mas malaki yung nawawala sa akin na pera dahil sa hidden fees, poor exchange rates, and sometimes extra charges na hindi ko napapansin until I check my statement. At first, nakaka-frustrate siya kasi you don't even see it happening. Now I use Wise, who's kind enough to sponsor today's video, not just to send money back home, but to also help me manage my expenses here in the Philippines. I also use Wise to fund my investment account and to receive payments from clients abroad. It's become a huge part of how I handle my finances as a freelancer and an expat kasi everything is simpler, faster, and more transparent. With Wise, I can send money internationally with no hidden fees and no surprise added cost. At ang pinakagusto ko sa kanya, I can hold multiple currencies and get paid like a local when working with international clients. If you want to try Wise for yourself, feel free to check out the link in the description box below. You can get a free card or a fee-free transfer ng up to 500 pounds or any equivalent currency to get started. Honestly, it's the tool I wish I knew about years ago kasi siguro ang dami kong natipid na pera kung ito talaga yung ginamit ko simula pa lang. Number 4 is impulse buys during online sales. Online sales used to be my weakness kasi you know that feeling na sayang naman kasi naka-sale. Kaya kino-convince mo yung sarili mo na it's a good deal. Kahit na hindi mo naman talaga siya penlano in the first place. Dito kasi sa Pinas, lahat ng araw na pwede silang mag-sale, magsisale sila. Meron tayong double digit, meron tayong kinsenas katapusan, merong holiday sale, tapos kapag may mga special occasions like International Women's Month, Pride Month, magsisale din sila. So kung sakaling busy ka at hindi mo inabutan yung 11/11 sale, lagi kang merong chance na gumasto sa mga susunod na araw. Kaya kahit na nagtitipid ka talaga, mahirap siyang iwasan. Back then, I've definitely checked out items na hindi ko kailangan, pero dahil mura siya, binili ko siya. And then magkakagulatan na lang kapag dumating na yung statement mo galing sa credit card. So now, I just have a simple rule kapag nag-online shopping. Na-mention ko na din to before, pero hinahayaan ko lang yung sarili ko na mag-add to cart. Pero wag mo munang i-check out. Nagwe-wait muna ako ng 24 hours bago ako mag-check out. Just to make sure kung lilipas ba yung hype ng gusto kong bilhin na item o hindi. Kasi minsan naman talaga, emotions mo lang yung nandun. Yun lang yung nagiging urge mo para mag-check out or bumili ng isang bagay. Pero kapag pinalipas mo yung oras, eventually marirealize mo na hindi mo naman talaga siya kailangan. Nadala ka lang nung ad or nung video na napanood mo. So if you want, you can do the same. Just follow that 24-hour rule to make sure na kailangan mo talaga yung isang bagay bago mo siya i-check out. Number 5, unused memberships or gym fees. I used to sign up for memberships lalo na kapag feeling ko sobrang motivated ako. Tapos mawawala din naman eventually yung motivation ko or magkakasakit ako, hindi ko na siya matutuloy hanggat sa mawalan na ako ng gana. Pero yung mga ganitong klase ng membership kasi 'di ba, hindi naman sila nagsa-stop as soon as mag-stop ka rin na magpunta sa gym nila or sa class nila. So continuously nagbabayad ka ng membership mo even though hindi ka uma-attend. Kaya mas nakaka-guilty sa pakiramdam, pero dahil wala na yung momentum, ayaw mo na rin siyang ituloy. Now, I'm more honest with myself. Kapag magko-commit ako sa membership or classes na ang bayad ay year-long, I make sure na attend talaga ako. Otherwise, I have to let it go or mag-pass muna. Next is not selling unused items. For the longest time, ang dami kong gamit dito sa bahay na hindi ko naman talaga nagagamit. Lalo na yung mga bagay na dinala namin galing abroad. Dahil mayroon silang sentimental value or nanghihinayang kami na iwan sila. Katulad ng mga old clothes, gadgets, random items. And nung nag-declutter ako, dun ko lang na-realize na yung iba pala dito pwede ko pang pakinabangan. Kasi yung iba sa kanila binenta ko and naging instant cash sila. Kasi to be honest, the longer you keep these items, mas nawawalan sila ng value and mas mahihirapan ka na rin na i-discard sila eventually. Next is paying for convenience too much. Sino nga ba naman ang ayaw ng convenience, 'di ba? Lalo na sa panahon ngayon na usong-uso ang hustle culture. Lahat tayo abala, lahat tayo madaming ginagawa. So we can't help but subscribe dun sa mga conveniences katulad ng ride-hailing app or delivery apps. Pero when I started tracking my expenses, napansin ko na medyo malaki pala talaga yung gastos niya on a monthly basis kapag ginagawa mo siya ng madalas. Now I'm more intentional. Don't get me wrong, ginagamit ko pa rin naman itong mga conveniences na to. However, mas intentional na ngayon, hindi na lang on a whim. Pinipili ko lang kung kailan talaga worth it na gumastos dun sa mga ganong bagay para walang regrets at the end of the month. Number 8 is not negotiating. Dati nahihiya talaga ako mag-negotiate kasi feeling ko baka yun lang talaga yung deserve ko. Whether it was rent, bills, or even freelancer rates, I'd just accept whatever was given to me. Kasi bukod sa pakiramdam ko, baka yun din lang talaga yung deserve ko. Ayoko na makita nila na masyado akong demanding or masyado akong nag-feeling para itaas yung rate na ino-offer nila sa akin. Pero eventually, I realized na I was literally leaving money on the table. And the truth is, a lot of people are actually open to negotiation. Yung iba nga sa mga kliyente natin, na-expect talaga nila yon na magne-negotiate ka. So, nung tinry ko yun once at nakita ko na pwede ko pa palang taasan yung rate para sa akin, nagkaroon ako ng confidence. Kasi imagine kung hindi ko yun ginawa, magsisettle ako dun sa sahod na masyadong mababa para sa akin na alam ko na hindi worth dun sa pagod ko. So now, every time na merong opportunity, I try to ask. Not every time it works. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na willing ka to have that conversation, automatic, ibibigay sa'yo lahat ng gusto mo. Pero at least you tried. Plus, when it does work in your favor, it makes a huge difference. Next is buying cheap instead of quality. I learned this the hard way kasi feeling ko kapag ang binibili ko is yung cheaper option, I'm being smart about money. Pakiramdam ko kasi dahil mura sila, nakakatipid ako at the same time may gamit na kami sa bahay without realizing na madali palang masira tong mga to and hindi rin sila magtatagal. So ang ending, bibili lang ulit ako. at mapapadoble pa ako ng gastos. So now I take a step back before buying anything. I make sure muna na okay yung reviews, okay yung description, may warranty, bago ako bumili ng isang bagay. Lastly is late fees for credit cards. Right now, may mga nag-offer sa akin na credit card company na mag-open sa kanila ng account para i-review. However, may mga times na nagde-decline ako, hindi dahil sa hindi ko gusto yung product or service, but because ayoko na mahirapan naman ako na mag-manage ng finances ko. Nangyari na kasi sa akin na nag-open ako ng credit card, ginamit ko siya once, totally nakalimutan ko na may card ako na ganun. Ang nangyari, ako yung nagbayad ng late fees. So right now, I make sure na whenever nag-open ako ng credit card or loan, nakatrack na din siya. I rely on reminders and calendar alerts para maiwasan yung mga late fees or hidden charges. It also removes the mental load and makes sure I don't get charged for something that's completely avoidable. So these were the 10 ways I lost money without realizing it. Again, if you need help sending and receiving money abroad safely and transparently, try using Wise today. Use my link in the description box below and get a free card or a fee-free transfer ng up to £500 or equivalent value based on your currency. If you want more videos similar to this one, I have more in my channel. You can start by watching this video. That's it for today. Ciao!